Hey everybody, welcome to Deb and Barbara's Blogging Out Loud. Today we're going to talk about aging and ageism.
Yeah, I blogged about this a little while ago, not specifically this topic generally, but I spoke to you guys about how Colin and I had made a sizzle reel, a 10-minute sort of pilot presentation. And long story short, we were made to feel that we were redundant, that we could not be leading characters anymore, given our age and stage in life. Barb and I both just read a wonderful article today by a wonderful actor in Canada named Rosemary Dunsmore, who did a great column in our union magazine, the Actor magazine.
If we can link to it, we will, but I'm not sure that we can.
Yeah, because it might be a private magazine for actors. All
Yeah.
those private actor things we talk about, you know, like I can't see into the mirror, because the secret handshake, etc. But she said it beautifully, so we will not steal her words, but we will give her credit as part of our inspiration. And, you know, we talked about getting to a certain stage in our business where the phone stops ringing. You've almost got to wait. I'll expand on this. You've almost got to wait until you look like an old lady to be an old lady. And if you are someone who looks great at 60, great at 70, they almost don't know what to do with you. But the thrust of Rosemary's point, which I think is what Barb and I find interesting, is where does that start? When you walk into a job interview, no matter who you are, your own job, an audition, is it to please someone, or does it start when you look in the mirror? Does it start with you at home, which was Rosemary's excellent point.
Yeah, that she was finding herself, on the one hand, railing against this ageism thing in the business, and then at the same time deriding herself when she looked in the mirror, you know, for looking older, being older, and all of that, and realizing that she had to make peace with that. Now we're just paraphrasing her long and excellent article, but the other thing too that has been quite eye-opening and shocking for me is, because my question was always, you know, we're a viable a group of people who spend money and you know, have needs and desires and wants and are engaging and engaged in the real world, and why are we not an interesting market for advertisers? And then I think we did that article too where we quoted that the fact that Harry's Law was pulled because even though it was like the #2 rated show in that market, advertisers did not want that audience, the older audience. Exactly. And then
you don't get bragging rights with middle-aged people. I guess that's the feeling.
Well, and I think it might also come down to the thing of aspirational living, that we are seduced by things because it makes us believe that if we buy that product, if we do that thing, we're going to be better, happier, more beautiful, more successful. And I believe that the root of the question is that just because we're older doesn't mean we can't inspire younger people to lives that are the beautiful part of your life when you're older. When you finally have gained some wisdom and some experience and some knowledge, and this is not to denigrate younger people and what they're going through and what they're experiencing. We were there, we remember what it was like, it was fabulous.
Kind of remember.
But it was wonderful and interesting. Yes. But this time is wonderful and interesting in a different way, and in a very, very compelling way. And I think, you know, if people could aspire to embracing every stage of their lives instead of thinking, oh, I'm older now and I'm no longer viable, I'm no longer interesting, I'm no longer beautiful, I'm no longer whatever. I think that's the thing that I don't have an answer for it. I don't know what the answer is, other than if we all could maybe make a concerted effort to shift our thinking, to embrace people who are older. You know, when you did that story about your parents, and make sure you go and sit with your parents at the party. I don't know if you want to just sum that one up.
I mean, I was actually going to say, when you were talking, I thought when you were talking about the balance, we almost need a scale of justice. I know it's an overused phrase that, you know, with each chin hair you get wisdom, and I know it's a joke, but what kills me is we say that and we're still putting ourselves down, because the truth is the gains are more than the losses.
Yes, yes.
The gains of the peace of mind I have at this stage of my life, the angst is gone. I'm still excited about things, but if I'm putting myself forth, I'm putting myself forth wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Not afraid of how I'm going to be perceived.
Yeah.
I'm just going for it. And yes, our bodies challenge us a bit. We've got to get over that.
Yeah.
I think I blogged about this before. We've just got to get over it.
Yeah.
Make the best of what you have.
Yeah.
You're still going to be attracted to someone who's older than you are.
That's right. You know, and it's and being attractive is in the inside, right? So we're attractive
really
for other reasons than how many wrinkles are on our face or not.
But yes, you were saying that thing, and I have to say, I had blogged about watching people pay homage to my mom and dad. And I use them as an example of what I see across the board with what I would call elderly people. And it's that thing of, hi, how are you? Isn't it a beautiful day?
Like
everything's elongated. And then once
children.
the homage has been paid, they move on. And I have to tell you, we had about 125 people at our party, and it was fabulous, and people were doting and being wonderful to them, and everyone lined up to see them. There were 3 occasions, and don't get me wrong, people came outside, people came out here, so not everyone was in the house with them. 3 occasions where I had to turn to dear friends and go, please, for God's sake, go up and speak to my parents. They were left alone. Again, it was that thing. People had paid their respects, and this wasn't everyone, but some people moved on to, there still weren't conversations, and I had to save that a few times.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
That's it. And yet, when you do sit down and talk to somebody and ask them really legitimate questions, like you would ask somebody at a cocktail party, your own age, or younger, you know, older people have this wealth of experience, and they're going to say things to you that will blow you away. And you know, again, I hate to sort of divide up age groups in any way. I just think that we have to stop worrying about getting older, start embracing it. Maybe the shift will become natural if we embrace it as a broader community, and those shifts come inside us, and that will filter over and across to advertisers and people who make TV shows and people who, you know, need to sell things. And because I think this is a fascinating time of life, and I think it needs to be.
I agree, and I'm not specifically quoting Rosemary, but she said something on the lines of, if aliens were viewing our society from a point of view of television and film, they would think that we died off at 60. Yeah. And I thought, isn't that interesting? Yeah. Well, it's food for thought. We'd love to hear your thoughts as always. And I mean, even though the Baron is only 2, I wonder if she has any comments on the subject at all. Baron, what do you think about this whole aging thing? Do we seem old to you? Do you judge us because we're over 40? Yeah. No, she doesn't judge. I didn't get any judgment.
No judgment at all.
Okay, well, thanks for tuning in to Barbara and Deb's Blogging Out Loud. See you next time.
See ya.